I'm Dr. Kevin Reimer. I'm the director of the program, and this is Denise Early. She is one of our rock star student affairs officers. And, you know, actually both of us were undecided on the clearance, so maybe someday you will become an educator or a prof or a student affairs officer. We're going to walk you through really carefully some of the details that you'll need to know in terms of transferring or changing your major over to education sciences. We kind of put this in for good measure. There's other stuff going on here for undergrads, but we know that you're all here for the Bachelor of Arts, right, in education sciences. So you want to advance and talk about it?
So you found where we're located. So as you guys, if you haven't been here, we are a little far from the campus. We have our walk-in advising Monday through Friday. Those are our hours. So if you guys have any questions at any time during that time, please feel free to stop by. Any quick questions. We can also see you on an appointment basis. So if you guys want to start planning once the fall quarter schedule comes out, what your fall quarter is going to look like, or if you want to plan the next 3 years, you know, making sure that you're on track with your GEs and your education courses, we're more than happy to do that.
We are really student focused, and we also want to encourage you to take advantage of the fact that we are student focused. Come see us. We can't help you if you don't come. So come spend some time with us. Talk about your program. Are any of you thinking about double majoring as well? Okay, very important that you make sure to combine, talk to us so that you don't end up kind of tripping over things later on. This is one of those situations where if you do some good planning on the front end, it really pays off later on. So here it is, Bachelor of Arts, Education Sciences. Some of you may be thinking, okay, well, I want to be a teacher. Is that what you're thinking about? Yeah, that's pretty common. But also consider the fact that many of the students in the major go into leadership. Maybe you have a principalship or a superintendent in your future. Some folks are involved in after-school learning and development, tutoring, curriculum development, big brothers, big sisters, that sort of thing. There's a lot of folks with interest in adolescent learning and development, folks that want to be high school teachers or interested in sports. Of course, folks in ed sciences are involved in curriculum design at all levels. Doesn't matter who or with whom you're working. We also have quite a few courses in digital media. This would be how to use technology in the classroom and how the technology can enhance the learning of the people that are receiving the instruction. Publishing, K-12, language learning. Some folks in the program go abroad and teach English to other cultures. Great way to maybe take advantage of EAP. Some folks are involved in policy analytics. There's a heavy emphasis on research, and of course, you may end up becoming a student affairs officer. Who knows?
In the another option that you have now, if you're going to major in education sciences, you cannot minor in education sciences, obviously. So that's something just for you to know as you're taking your education courses, and maybe if you're thinking about a double major. If you end up changing your mind, that's completely fine. You can do something like minor in education sciences. And the minor is set up to give you the option of taking courses in the various areas that Kevin just talked about. So because you guys are focused right now on the bachelor's, we'll kind of just talk about that. But if for whatever reason something changes, you can always minor in education.
There are 6 specializations in the ed sciences major. You do not have to pick a specialization, but one that is fairly popular is something called after-school education. In fact, you can go a step beyond the specialization and actually get a certificate. And these are the folks that are involved in after-school education or supplementary or co-curricular education. Those kinds of extras that really make a difference in terms of helping kids learn how to become good students.
CASE isn't the only specialization, so we have ones in children's learning and development in early childhood for those of you who are interested in the babies with pre-K. We have, like Kevin mentioned earlier, digital media and research, and also English language learning, which is very popular. If you guys are thinking about teaching English abroad, if you want to do it in the summer, you could do a summer program abroad through EAP. there are a lot of options for you guys to have that type of EAP experience, either to count as a specialization or just for your own enrichment, taking courses outside of the country.
So let's talk just really briefly about affiliating. What does it mean to affiliate as opposed to being a declared major? You can affiliate with the School of Education. It means that you are not an Ed Sciences major and you're not held to the same requirements that a major would be held to.
Right, so as you're affiliating at the end of week 6, you will be an education science major, undeclared or unaffiliated. And what that means is that you will still need to fulfill the change of major requirements in order to add education sciences as a major. So right now you're going to be affiliated with the school, not a declared major, and that declaration only happens when you meet the change of major requirements.
So declaring the major means you've got a little bit of work to do. Lower division is going to include 5 classes. Upper division is 7. And here's something that you really should pay attention to even now. There is a practicum requirement for the education sciences major. The practicum is to some extent customizable depending on what it is that you're interested in doing. So say you're interested in working with grade school age kids. We would be interested in finding practicum placements for you that put you in the classroom, for example, or maybe doing after school activities with 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. That can be customized, of course, for adolescents, teens, or really young kids. In fact, there's a great preschool opportunity here on campus. You want to tell them?
We have the Early Childhood Center, which is on campus. So that's one of the, if you're interested in pre-K, you can volunteer there and work with pre-K children. There are a lot of other opportunities to jumpstart through the school in order to complete your practicum. But then there are other things that you can do if you want to. If you volunteer at your Boys and Girls Club, your local one, if you go back in the summer, if you do Think Together, there are a lot of opportunities for this practicum to be completed also off campus.
So what are the requirements for change of major? Well, obviously a minimum 2.0 cumulative, quarterly GPA of 2.0, education course grade of 2.5 or higher and or B- or better in one lower division education course. Now, for those of you that are thinking double, if you go into student access, click on applications, then change of major, and select education sciences. Make sure that you indicate that you're either adding a second major or you're going to drop, therefore replace your original major. It's important that you do this. If you don't,
the system doesn't know what you're doing. So even though it's a little scary to drop your major, what you're doing is you're actually changing your major. So there's no change of major button. It's a dropping of one and adding of the other. And then when you do meet the change of, for those of you who are interested in double majoring, once you meet their change of major requirements for that second major, you would go into student access and do the same thing that you did for EdSci. You would go into student access and then add a major. So just kind of keep that in mind for those of you who are thinking about doubling. You do need to complete the change of major requirements, even though you're not changing, you're adding.
really important kind of footnote here, this is not a teaching credential. The education sciences major is a major, but in the state of California, you must complete something called a post-baccalaureate teaching credential program. It's an extra year, and this is actually not a teaching credential program. It's designed to help you get into a teaching credential program if that's where you're going.
The School of Education has, we adhere to the same university policies that I'm sure you guys have gone over in DOE. In order to remain in good academic standing, you must have a 2.0 GPA. You must make progress towards your degree, which includes your lower division requirement, your lower division writing requirement, which is also called normal progress. So as long as you're doing what you're doing, you're taking more than 12 units a quarter, you're getting above a 2.0 GPA, then you are remaining in good academic standing. If your GPA is to fall below a 2.0 at any point in the quarter, you would be put on academic probation. Falls below 1.5, it's subject to disqualification. Same policies as DOE. If you are in that situation, or you feel like your quarter is not going very well and you might be placed on probation, please come in and talk to us. The earlier that you come in and let us know that something for whatever reason isn't working, hopefully we'll have enough time to pull that around in the middle of the quarter.